So I made some chicken noodle soup out of the chicken legs I just got on sale at the grocery store. So I bought these in a big pack, and this batch of chicken legs ended up costing the equivalent of $2.55. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the pot, and we're going to make chicken noodle soup. I'll show you how to do it. So right now I'm going to put them in the pot with some water and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And we're just going to cook them kind of slow and low, just to start. Right now it's like 10 something in the morning. So now the legs are in the water, and we're going to add some apple cider vinegar. And what that's going to do is slowly break down. See, it was just a little bit that I added. Slowly break down, help break down the chicken, the bone, the cartilage, all that kind of stuff, while it cooks nice and low. So what I'm going to do is put the knob up to maybe 5 or so, halfway, total medium, between low and hot, and let it kind of slowly build up and watch it. And then I will probably later on in the day end up, I know I will, lowering it to about 3. So we're really heating this up quite slow and low. And the reason is, if you do it, like turn it on and boil the hell out of it, it'll get gross, bitter, icky. So the whole key is slow and low. I'm also going to add a little bit of sea salt. So it's just little dashes and little pinches just to begin with. Okay, so we have a gentle simmer happening, and this is exactly what we want it to be at. We don't want it a heavy boil at all, just a gentle simmer. Now, we already have some bone marrow, some chicken stuff coming out. That's good, that's good. We're just gonna stir it up. Now, I'm keeping the fat on. I will eventually pull the fat off, but just keeping it on for a little bit, just for some flavor. So that's why we add the apple cider vinegar. You don't want to do too much because you don't want it to be too vinegary. But as this cooks, like this will all kind of just like melt away. You might see like the end of the leg, that little cartilage thing will pop off. See that brown there? That's the bone marrow already starting to come out. It's really good for you, especially if you've been sick. So we're just gonna keep letting that go. All right, it is now about 1:30, and I'm gonna pull the chicken legs out and take the chicken off, the skin off, and pull everything off the bone. Okay, so here's the stock with nothing in it. Here's those bones that we just cleaned, and we're going to throw them back in the chicken broth. I'll scrape off all this extra stuff and put it back in there too. So it's still a couple hours till dinner time. We'll put these bones back in there, let them keep doing their thing. I'll probably add I've already added a full cup and a half of water. I'll probably put another couple cups of water in here and keep up with the bone broth. And this is all the chicken meat I got off those legs. It's all like cleaned, made sure there's no funky parts to them. And I'm gonna put this, I'll end up putting this in a little baggie, put it in the fridge. But this will all go back into the soup when it's ready. So bones are back in, and I ended up adding like 2 full cups, like this full. I'm not talking like a measuring cup, I'm talking like this cup full of water to put it back in there. So it's, if you look at my spoon, that's how much water is in here. It's a good amount. And we're just gonna let the bones keep. So while it's slowly simmering, you may see there's like some kind of like a fat goop. And you just take that out, put it on a little plate next to you. Just kind of, it's called skimming the top. So if you see any kind of, you don't want to get everything out because that's where the flavor is. But if you notice it's kind of like skimmable, then you can remove some of it. All right, so I did add some more water. I took a taste test. Oh my God, it tastes so good. It tastes just like chicken noodle soup, and it hasn't had any seasoning in it yet. My daughter's getting ready to come home from school right now. So I think I'm going to start cutting veggies and just get the soup ready because she's going to be hungry when she gets home. So now it's time to strain all this. So here are the bones that I just removed the bones with a big slotted spoon right now. And you can see, so what has happened, all the minerals, all the nutrients have slowly seeped from the bones. Bone marrow has come out, has been released. So if you see, these are like the cartilage end pieces that were on, you can see here, like on here. They pop off, and then, so some of the bones, they popped, and then the marrow just kind of seeps out. You get minerals and stuff coming out of the bone. And so that's what happens when you're making bone broth. Now we're going to put it through a finer strainer. All right, so I put all the broth through this, and that's what's left. And then under there, oh my God, super good bone broth. Make sure you rinse out. Now I gave it a quick rinse out the pot, and then you'll remove this, and then you pour all this broth back in the pot. Okay, so we have about 3 large stalks of celery and 3 carrots and a whole onion that I'm putting in the soup. Let me see if I can get it in there with. I'll be back to stir it for your amazement. Okay, now we're back to stir. So, celery, carrots, and onion, the holy trinity of soup. I'm also going to add a pack of frozen corn, and I'm going to add the chicken back in. And then I'm going to turn up the heat, and once it gets hot and bubbly, I'm going to add noodles to it. And I've got these kind of older-fashioned dumpling noodles. Oh my God, you guys. Look at that. So next I'm going to add these spices. I've got pepper, I have tarragon. So anything that has chicken in it, if you add tarragon, it makes it so much better. So if you've ever ate like chicken Kiev, that flavor is made with tarragon. So that's what tarragon tastes like. Add some garlic powder and some seasoned salt. Okay, so I added all these seasons. I'm going to finish it up with a little bit of turmeric. All right, here we go. Oh my God, you guys. So I just turned the heat up. Now the heat's going to be on like 7.5, 8. We're going to wait for it to start boiling. Now we're not going to do a harsh boil, not a big rolling boil. We're just going to slowly bring it to a boil enough where we can start boiling our noodles in here. So I'm going to add the noodles. Today I'm going to use these dumpling noodles. So when you're using egg noodles, if you look for the kind that say no yolk on them, those are better to use. And it's because if they don't have the yolks in the pasta, it won't suck up all your fluid out of your soup. Sometimes the pasta with the yolk in it will actually suck up all your fluid in the pasta. So if you're gonna make soup, it's a good choice to go with the no yolk. Sometimes if you don't have access to if you're gonna use egg noodles, it doesn't mean that you're totally fucked if you have pasta that has yolk. It just means you might need to add a little bit more fluid. It totally depends on the pasta. All right, so we've added the pasta in. And now we're just gonna let it cook until the veggies in the pasta are tender. And then soup's done. Oh my gosh, you guys, I tried it. It's so good. It is so good. Chicken noodle soup. All right, there it is. Homemade chicken noodle soup. You guys, it smells so good in here. So if there's any leftover soup, when it goes in the fridge tomorrow, this brothy stuff will be all like gelatiny. And that's because of like the cartilage and stuff from the bones and all that. And so you put it in the microwave or you put it in a pot and heat it up and it turns just liquidy again. But it just goes to show all the different kinds of nutrients, different things you're getting just from having that bone broth base. So I figured it out. This entire pot of soup, that's a lot of soup in here, ended up, when all was said and done, costing about less than $8 to make. And I can't wait to eat.
back here, you little rascal.